If I could share one tip with you today, in which I believe will take your business to the next level, what would it be? One of the most powerful things that you own is your story. It doesn't matter if you are a business owner. It doesn't matter if you are a content creator. It doesn't matter if you are a speaker. People absolutely love to know about you. If we were all honest, all of us are looking for inspiration. We're all looking for motivation. We're all looking for the steps which show us how to create, how to do, and how to be better than what we are today. We crave connection. And that's what your story does. It connects you to your audience. And that's going to be the thing that sets you apart. Your marketing is more important than your mastery. What does that mean? You can have the best service. You can have the best product. You can create the most efficient system in the market. But until people really know who you are and know what you do, could it be that it's all in vain? So what am I saying to you? It's okay that you don't start off perfectly right away. Now, of course, you want to make it as excellent as possible when you do come to market. But again, your marketing is more important than your mastery. We all want to be a success. We all need motivation. And at times in our life, we all need inspiration. That's where I come in. I'm a cheerleader of sorts. I like doing it. I like helping people. And I like encouraging them to be their absolute best. Hello. Hey, everybody. This is Kisa. This is Coach K. And I hope that you have been enjoying our video series and just talking through how to heal from narcissistic abuse. In fact, this series is entitled 5 Steps to Recover from Narcissistic Abuse. We've talked about the importance of going to therapy. We've talked about the importance of separating and planning a way of escape. We've talked about the importance of engaging life again. We've also talked about the importance of just taking care of yourself. And I always maintain, and there are different things for different people, so I can't always generalize, but I find that if you have been the victim, and for some of my clients who have been victims and have always been focused on, others and taking care of others and making sure others are okay, one of the most difficult steps has been making sure that they're okay and taking care of themselves. So I think today, in all of what I'm saying, it will literally wrap up everything that we're saying, and we won't prolong the message in that part of it today. But the main thing, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Out of all the things that I have talked about, there is one predominant message when you talk about recovering from narcissistic abuse. And I believe that you can, I or anyone else, or wherever you look, all of the things that we're going to tell you as it relates to it, okay? It really is one incredible theme that's really, really simple. So what I need you to do, if you have either been the victim of narcissistic abuse, if you are married to someone that you believe is a narcissist, if you are dating someone that you believe that is a narcissist, at the end of the day, the most important thing, I have no judgment, and I really have no overwhelming concern for the other person whom you believe is doing that, because at the end of the day, I don't really know that that's what it is. I mean, we're, as I talk to some of my friends, one of the things that we say that we're concerned about is just the excessive use of that word, the excessive attention that's focused on narcissism, when at the end of the day, could it be that it's not narcissism at all? Sure. If you're dealing with someone who devalues you, if you're dealing with someone who love bombs you initially and connects with you and, just tells you that you're their soulmate and just loves on you so extreme and hard at first, only later to abuse you and ignore you and reject you, they just may be immature. They just may be selfish. Maybe they just found someone else. Maybe they just, fell in love with someone else and just didn't have the guts or the gall, which oftentimes happens. Okay. People, there are a lot of ghosting going on in those dating streets, okay, where they just kind of leave you without any explanation. That's what ghosting is. They just kind of leave you without any explanation. So could that be the case? Absolutely. Could just be that they're immature. Could be that they feel like they found someone else to love. Absolutely. It could also be that they are a narcissist or are narcissistic in nature. Okay? So I'm not going to diagnose anyone. That's not my goal. But I did want to have some honest, gut-wrenchingly raw, mature, and healing conversation around what you can do if you're dealing with a narcissist, what you can do if you have sustained abuse at the hands of the narcissist. There are many layers to this deal. There are things that we need to look at in terms of what you're doing, and I want you to continue checking my page because we're gonna walk through this thing. We're gonna deal with it. What are some of the things that you're doing? What are some of the things that you're doing to open yourself up to narcissistic abuse? When you see, or if you're dealing with something from someone that is unfavorable or that could trend toward narcissistic abuse, are you stopping it? Are you addressing it? Or do you just keep on with the idea that, I'm getting this money, or, I'm getting this attention, or, I really like the way he looks. Girl, he is fine. Are you going to continue to put up with it because for some reason, something on the inside of you is satisfied? Because here's what I will say. Let me just go ahead and say this before I get into our fifth and final tip in this series. Because I'm just tell you, I'm gonna camp out here. Like I'm making a little pallet here and I'm camping out. I'm camping out on this subject. Okay. Because it really isn't about narcissism. Wink, wink. It really is about overcoming and being able to walk away and love yourself enough to walk away from destructive relationship patterns. That's really what it is. Narcissism just happens to be the key word. And I'm gonna go there with you on it, okay? But what role are you playing in it? I'm not here to blame, but if you see it, do you call it or do you ignore it? Because I tend to have a voice with those who are more mature. I'm 52. I tend to have a voice with those who are more mature. So when you see the crap, do you just keep walking? You just ignore it? Or do you call them on their crap? That's probably the bigger discussion. That's probably the bigger issue. Do you call them on it? So I'm not trying to blame. I'm not trying to accuse you. Certainly not. Because then too, when you see it, it could a case be made that, yeah, I saw it, but it was too late. I was already hooked in, or we already had this and it wasn't as easy to break free. I get that part too. So I'm not accusing you. But if for those of you who are there and already committed, no shame, no condemnation. Been there, done that. No shame, no condemnation. I want you to go back and I want you to watch all the videos in this series because it's going to help you formulate a plan to get back to you. Okay? No shame, no condemnation. But for those of you who are not tied in to a permanent sort of relationship, for those of you who are still dating, still have a shot at you. You don't have to continue to go on. You don't have to continue to go and deal with some of the things that will inevitably come if you don't address it early on. Okay. We train people how to treat us. And by ignoring their bad behavior, by refusing to address their bad behavior, we're training them. And here's a little hint: a person who's a true narcissist, not up to you to diagnose. And there probably will never be a diagnosis because, like I said, they're not going to go run to the doctor or run to a counselor and say, help me, I need your help. They may, but the chances are real slim. But for those who have issues or challenges or who have characteristics of being a narcissist, more than likely they're not going to go get a diagnosis. They're not even going to tell you that they are. They'll be, of course not. Be the first one to tell you, narcissist, what are you talking about? You're the you're the narcissist, because projecting is a big part of what they do too. They project their issues and their deficits on you. So no, they're not going to do that. But if you see it, I want you to be woman enough. I want you to be man enough to call it and to make the hard decision now. Do better. The older you get, the more mature that you should be able to see things and handle things. And some of us mature a little late in life. I get that. In some instances, I have matured a little bit later. I bloomed a little bit later. So no condemnation there. But when you know better, you do better. When you see it, you call it now. You know, you have your voice, you've got your feet under you now, okay? No use in continuing to deal with some things that you do not have to deal with. At the end of the day, let me bring all of this together. Let me bring all of this home. What am I asking you to do as I get ready to wrap up this particular series? I am asking you to do one thing for those of you who have suffered abuse at the hands of a narcissistic partner, and that is quite simply to heal. Okay, so what does that look like for me? I don't know. Or I'll tell you, as my niece says, I don't know. Something that I don't know. Shout out to my beautiful niece Shiloh. So I don't know what it looks like for you. I really don't. I don't know what it looks like for you. But I know at the end of the day, before you can make a good decision, before you can protect yourself or you can protect, and for God's sake, I remember my pastor saying this. Shout out to Pastor Michael D. Moore at Faith Chapel. Pastor M.K. Moore is the pastor there now. So they're family and will always be my family. First church I attended when I came here to Birmingham for over 20 years. So I'm vested, I'm vested with them and their growth. Wonderful ministry, by the way, to check out if you're looking for a church home. But, I was about to tell you something that he told me. But at the end of the day, let me get my thoughts back and let me just say this. I want you to heal. Healing may mean walking away from something or someone that you know is not good for you. It may not even be terrible, but it just may not be the best. Or if it causes you to feel some kind of way, if it's destroying your esteem. I mean, they're nice to you in one moment, but the next minute they're tearing you down. He's ugly in one moment, but boy, you all take these fabulous vacations. Yeah, but he's cheating. I mean, he's dealt inappropriately with your friends. He's got another relationship going. But you still play and kind of hang around hoping that you'll move to the top spot. He's a cheater already. So you think you're going to be able to change that by your looks or by your shape or by what you do for him? No, he doesn't have respect for himself. So he's not going to respect you based on what you give him. No, you're just entertainment in that arena. You're just entertainment. Maybe no one has told you that, or maybe they have, but maybe you can hear it from me now. And let me give you this. I need you to heal, because see, until you let go, God can be over here. This hand right here. God can be right here. But we won't get to over here if we're still playing with something that's right here. Because you know what? You can't even see what's here because this has your attention. So you can't even get to this. You can't even face this. This is a great thing right here. This is a wonderful thing right here. But we're too afraid to let this thing over here go. So we keep holding on. We're in it and we're out. We're in it and we're out. We're in it and we're out. We just keep holding on instead of just squaring up and just saying, I let go. I open my hands so I can potentially see. Hands wide open, arms wide open, heart wide open to see the beautiful relationship or the beautiful things that God has in store for me. But we want to keep playing with that thing over here, and it's just holding us up, and we just lose sight of what God has. I need you to heal. All of the games, all of the things that you've done, it hadn't worked. Heal. Am I telling you to get rid of them? Nope. Am I telling you to divorce them? Nope. I'm telling you to heal, because when you heal, you get crystal clear. It's not a deep message. What does healing involve? It may mean therapy. I talked about it before. It may mean you going back and re-engaging your friends and enjoying life. I talked about it in an earlier video. Go back and watch it. It may mean that you get out and you treat yourself. You do good things for yourself. You take yourself out on dates. You go to the movies and you start having fun again. You go to concerts and festivals and things. I talked about it in an earlier video. Go check it out on my page. I want you to heal. No, in fact, it's a stronger call to heal. If you read your self-help books, go sit down and talk to a counselor. Maybe it's at church. Maybe you hire a professional counselor. There are all sorts of free resources out there. All you have to do is Google free counseling, okay? Free mental health therapy. There are free resources out there. So you can't use money as the excuse. And here's the thing. If you have a thing about counseling, here's the deal. Nobody know that you're getting counseling, but you and the counselor, unless you tell. The counselors, mental health professionals are under a strict code of confidentiality. I'm a life coach. We're under a strict code of confidentiality. What does it look like me telling you someone else was in here, I'm seeing someone else? You'd be surprised at my clientele. High profile, named clientele. I won't even breathe a word of it. What for? To damage them and to destroy my practice and my credibility as a life coach? No, thank you. You'll hear me use examples. You hear me share about some of the things that I've dealt with. But do you think I'm really going to share the identity? So you can try to go back and point to things, but you won't get an identity from me. No, because I'm not interested in destroying the person. I'm interested in getting the lesson. I'm interested in connecting with you and saying to you that I'm coming from a place of credibility. I'm not coming off the top of my dome. I'm not just reading some things. I come from a place of credibility and also a place of experience. I need you to heal, because narcissistic abuse is real, and narcissistic abuse can and will, if not checked, have devastating consequences, not only in your life, but in the lives of others that you are called to influence and you are called to lead. I am Kisa, Coach K. If you would like to get in touch with me, it's easy. And listen, I make no bones about it. I may not be the person for you, but I know people who know people. Or just Google you some help. Free counseling resources, but get you some help. Heal, okay? Life is waiting on you. That's all I have for you today. But stay tuned to my page, because we're going to camp out in this subject. Look for more resources. Just scroll through my videos on narcissism. I'm really just kind of starting up, but like I said, just look through my page on some other resources. Guarantee you'll get a nugget out of there. It's going to help you and bless you in some form or fashion, or even if you're just in an abusive relationship, maybe it's just mentally and emotionally abusive. It'll help you as well. I'm Kisa, Coach K, and I sincerely thank you for tuning in. Until next time.